Want to attend the legendary Thrivetime Show Business Workshop for free? Subscribe on iTunes, leave an objective review, and send us confirmation at info@thrivetimeshow.com to claim your tickets. Want to live in a van down by the river? Come by and see us at our Riverwalk offices, and we'll be able to make your dreams come true.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to another podcast edition of the Thrivetime podcast and the Thrivetime radio show. Chup, I'm following up with the people in Portland.
Yeah.
And I was told that we should know something this week.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that means that we're moving forward. So if you are listening today from Portland as a result of hearing the podcast, I'm excited for you. But if you are in Portland right now and you're not hearing this show, then you're obviously not hearing my commentary, but I'm excited to be on the AM radio dial in Portland, and it looks like that should happen. But we'll see. Woo! We'll see. I don't want to get too excited, but I'm so excited. But I won't be too excited. I don't want to be too excited. I want to be more meta, man. It's not to me, it's not really a big Okay, so this is what happens. When you're an entrepreneur, there's so many things you're excited about. So you say, I don't want to get too excited about growing my new business, but I'm so excited. But then you have things that you're not excited about at all, and so there's no energy to want to do it. And one of those things is creating a unified database. Or if you already have it, organizing it. It's a thing that people don't want to do, Marshall, but you absolutely have to, at a certain point, organize how you're going to organize the data. You have to find a system that you're going to use. And so I'm going to recommend for all the people out there a system for organizing your leads, your customers. And that system that I would recommend for you is called HubSpot. And you would say to me, well, do you use HubSpot yourself? And I would say, absolutely not. And you say, why? And I say, because for Elephant in the Room, we have a program called Zenoti, Z-N-O-T-I, and it is designed just for us and just for the franchise. But as a small business owner, when you need to have a functional customer relationship management software where you can keep track of your users and your buyers and who you've sold to and who you haven't sold to and invoices, and I would recommend HubSpot because the company allows you to have a free version you can try out. And then when you do want to upgrade to a paid version, you're not going to be spending thousands of dollars a month. And Marshall, you've seen clients that have come to you and they're spending thousands of dollars a month on a customer relationship management software that nobody can figure out. And furthermore, people aren't using.
Most people right now that are listening to this, your CRM is the reason why you're not selling anything.
Oh my gosh. So people can hide behind the digital clutter. They can look like your sales team can look like they're making sales calls. It can seem like they're doing action because Salesforce prompts them every day, or because whatever program you have has an automated drip campaign.
Thomas Edison said, "Seeming to do is not doing."
Oh!
So this is what all of these CRMs, the advanced features, the upsell, the upgrade, this is what they're designed to do, is to try and automate this human interaction of physically picking up the phone and calling somebody. And so most business owners, if your business is under $1.5 million in sales, all you got to do is just create a spreadsheet of 3 columns, 3 things that are important. Number 1 is their name. Number 2, their phone number. And number 3, their email address. And just call that list till people buy, cry, or die. That's it. That is the system. And it's a simple system, but that's how you can go through, review, follow up. Did this person book? Did this person not book? What is the status of this lead? But everything else is just a distraction away from have they bought or have they not purchased.
So what you have to do is you use the software. You use the software. The whole point of using that software is to essentially have a way to track your leads and to stay in touch with your ideal and likely buyers, to push them through the sales process. But what happens is, if you're not careful, the software becomes a thing that your salespeople can hide behind, and they can pretend that they're doing work. And Marshall, you've seen this with a chiropractor we've worked with, where everyone on the team would act like they're calling the leads, but they weren't. And the only way for the business owner to discover if they were calling their leads or not was to actually get rid of the technology and to say, I want you to print off the leads and write in the top left corner of every lead when you called them last and what happened during the last conversation. And I want those physical papers on your desk when you leave work and when you get to work every single day.
So simple.
But if you don't have a system that works, building a software will not make it easier for you. Furthermore, you cannot delegate the implementation of software. So if you're going to have a software that your team uses, you as the owner have to know how to use it better than anyone else.
That's right.
You have to know how to use the software yourself.
Let that sink in. What does that mean?
I see a lot of business owners that say, well, I'm going to hire Darren, and Darren's a new employee, and he's going to help us get the software up. You can't have your team running the software if you don't know how to use it. So this is what Bill Gates would say if he were here today. Bill Gates says the first rule of any technology used in a business is that automation applied to an efficient operation will magnify the efficiency. The second is that automation applied to an inefficient operation will magnify the inefficiency.
What this means is that if you're not making calls, getting a CRM is not going to make the calls for you.
I see medical companies all the time. They've created a software they're starting to use that's supposed to remind them of billing people.
Oh, what happens?
And I am not exaggerating. There was a cosmetic surgeon I was working with who literally was owed almost $1 million because the software was dripping out invoices of when they're due and when they need to be paid and sending it to the insurance companies. And that person was just never collecting. And they're like, well, the software is saying right now that we're owed this much or this much is coming in or account. They have these little fancy pie charts that show accounts receivable. I'm telling you, you have to know the software if you're going to implement that. Now, there's one more feature of the software that you should use if you do switch to a program like HubSpot or some kind of customer relationship management software. It should allow you to track your customers and to sort them into 5 categories. There's 5 categories that you want to sort your customers into, and I'll read them off here for you. This is from the Service Profit Chain, the Harvard case study on what makes companies successful. You want to sort your top 10% of your customers and call them as apostles. The people that love your company and promote it to people, those are called apostles. The second group is called loyalists. Loyalists are people that buy from your company often, but they don't really promote you to other people. The third group is mercenaries, and that's about 10% of your customer base, and those are people that really switch service suppliers to obtain lower prices, even if they have a high level of satisfaction with your company. Then that next group is hostages, and you're doing something wrong if more than 5% of your customers are hostages. But that means where the people are dissatisfied with your company, but they have few other alternatives. And the final is terrorists. These are people that hate their spouses, hate their country, hate the weather, and hate you and your business, and you do not want to market to these people on an ongoing basis. And that is what a CRM program should do for you and your business. And if you have any more questions about what to do or how to set up a CRM, we have workshops where we can teach you how to do it, and your business coach can also help you implement a CRM in your weekly business coach meetings. That's CRM 101.